So you started off your life and you said, hey, I'm tired of the rat race. I'm tired of doing things the right way. And you want to live off the grid. You don't want to do things anymore like you're supposed to. You don't want to follow the rules. You just want to say, hey, I've had enough. I just want to live my life the way I think I should. So you lay back, you, you just turn off your cell phone. Well, I mean, you leave it on to get important calls if they're really important, because most of the calls on the phone today are scamming or selling something or not who you are. Keep the people you want and get rid of the rest. You don't have to pick up that phone. There's no rules. You just lived your rules, your way. Yeah? They don't want to be bothered. You want to stay in your home? Work out of your home. You can work without leaving in your vehicle anymore. The only time you might go out to go is get groceries, but even that you don't have to do anymore because you can order and food comes, your groceries come. Life is different now. We live in a different society. Before, you had to do the old-fashioned way. You had to get up and go get the groceries, stand in long lines, and deal with the public. Now you don't have to do that. You can just order it, and they keep track of what you order. They know what you ordered. They might want you to put you on a subscription where you get products drop all the time, like clockwork. But you got to watch that out because that can get out of control, and you end up with too much of the same product, and you don't want that. The thing is, you don't want to live under anybody's control. You want to live your life the way you want to live it. You want to live it in peace. You don't want to be connected to any system. You just want it to work for you. And when you work for you, you see better results. But like I said, we live for ourselves and we live for now. We do things that we believe is the right way. All I'm saying is this. You get up in the morning. But do you have to get up? You get up when you want to get up. You get up and you do your things for yourself and not for others. You're not punching in a clock anymore. You don't have to because you work from your home. And you work online. Maybe you're doing this and you're helping others. You're using your talents to do something beneficial, but something good for you and someone else because you're giving knowledge. You're helping someone. You're motivating someone. You're giving them a purpose. And the purpose is they can go out and work or they can stay at home and work. You might be a writer. You write a book. And become an author. You can become an author like that. A novel will take 100 pages. Or you can do an ebook. Ebook novel or ebook 25 pages. You become an author. Like that. It's very easy. You have to check all your grammar and your spelling. You get a publisher. They publish it. Boom. You gotta wait. You gotta get the word out. That's one thing you do is you gotta promote. Promote yourself. Because nobody knows who the heck you are. It takes time. Or you're like to make music. You have a guitar. You want to sing. You got music already made. But you don't know how to get it out there. You have to get a distributor. And they got a piece of the action. There are distributors that will take a certain percentage. There's some that you have to pay monthly. Yeah, so you got to choose which one is better for you. Which is better? The one to take out a certain percentage than the one that take out monthly. Because those that take out a certain percentage, it covers your bases. Where the one you got to take out monthly, they might have other charges they charge you for that you didn't realize. If you're into beat music and you have to make a certain kind of music, you gotta think about that. Whatever your niche is, whatever you're good at, you don't have to leave your home to make money. You can do it in your house. Okay? You can do anything. Go online. Do what you have to do to make you work. Or maybe you're a millionaire and you really don't have to work. But you don't know what to do. You're bored. Yes, that's what happens. When you have a lot of money, you can get bored. And you say, oh, you'll travel. But where are you going to travel to? Is there anybody there? Or maybe you're by yourself. You have no friends. You have nobody. Everybody's dead, gone, and you're by yourself. You have nothing. What do? Well, you find friends. But can you trust them? You don't tell people what you have and what you do to survive in this world. You don't tell nobody nothing. Don't drive a brand new sports car or a brand new SUV. You know, one of my late cousins, he used to drive an old wreck to work because he didn't want people to know what he had. And that was a smart move too, because you don't want people to know how you live. You live for yourself. You don't live for others. They don't need to know your business. They don't need to know what you are capable of doing. And what you're capable of doing is making a go of it. And when you make a go of things, things work out great for you. And you don't have to worry about nothing. But a lot of us don't have ambition. We don't have to start. We don't have to get up and go to do and make things work. So, you're living off the grid. You sold your house. You moved to the country. You find out it's not easy because you might have to restore that country house and you're going to have to put money into it if you didn't have enough money saved, because carpenters, builders, electricians, plumbers, they're going to charge a lot like they do now. Maybe your dad, he got in his head, he'd buy a house and become a landlord. So he knew how to do plumbing, electrical, everything. Even clean the sewer. Yeah, because that can get clogged. And it costs money to clear it all out. It's a lot of work. But if you got the motivation, you got the skills, you got the attitude, you got the billing, you have willpower, self-development. If you have all these skills, you could do anything you want. And not worry about all that other stuff. You'll learn. You'll learn. You'll learn. And once you learn all these skills, you can do a lot of things. And you can teach others too. You're a teacher from school. Maybe you're a college professor. Maybe you have some idea how to teach others how to do things. And that's what you do. You teach others how to be a better person. How they can be something better in their life. Because a lot of people don't know. There's nothing that says it when you're born, what you're supposed to do. Your parents teach you what they know. You get that idea. Then you take it from there. Some people don't want to get married. Some people don't want to have kids. Some people don't want nobody. They just want to be on their own. And it's up to them to choose what they want. You want to live by yourself? Live by yourself. You want to live off the grid? You want to live off the grid. You just want to be left alone to do what you want and survive. You can watch your movies, watch your TV, do what you're everywhere. No one's there to say, no, you can't do it. No, you can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You do whatever you want. Because it's your life. Like I said, that cell phone, you don't have to pick it up. If they have no caller ID, then you don't have to pick it up. Even if they have caller ID, you still don't have to pick it up. You don't have to have voicemail. SMS, they leave you a message, but they won't because they're not real. Automated system, they're going to leave you a message. They might say, call us, this is an important call, you need to call us now. No, they don't. You don't have to do nothing. You don't know who sent it. You don't see nothing in the mail. What are you worried about? Even in the mail, do you need to open up those letters? You don't know what it is. If there's nothing in the letter, you feel the letter, and if there's nothing in there, then why open it? Unless it was something important. Government and state. Then you're gonna have to open it up because you didn't know what it is. But anything else that looks official, but it's really not. Look and see who sent it. The postmark, if there's any postmark, then you have to worry about that. But like I said, if you do everything right, then nobody's gonna bother you. Yeah, but you can live up in the cabin up in the mountains and just relax. have your internet, satellite, whatever it is you want to do. You want to live the way you want to live, and you want to function that way. You're tired of getting up every morning, going to a job, and then take a notice that you have put value and help the business grow. They don't care. They never promote you. You're stuck doing the same thing every day. You get bored. Yeah, sure, work is hard to come by, but, or you can be a contractor. Work when you want to work, and no one else can tell you. And you get work. You have somebody like an agency or something getting you work and say, hey, they need you here. You want to do it? And you say, yeah, how much is paying? And you want more money. And they say no, because they want a piece of the money too. Everybody's hand is in that money. So if they're paying $100 an hour, how much of that 100 do you get? Do they get 75% and they give you $25? Or you can get $50 and they keep 50. They got to balance out. It's called bill rate. Yes. You always need to know about the bill rate if you're doing a 1099 contract. If you're working for them, they might put you on a W-2 and they take out the money. But they still ask you what you want, and then they factor in what they pay for mileage from when you leave your house to go to another location. Some of them will pay for fuel for your vehicle. Got to work it all in. But make sure you do it correctly, because if you don't, it's going to mess up. You're going to have tolls. So you have to cross a bridge, and it costs, every time you cross a bridge, it's $20. And $20 to come back. That's $40 a day. You can add that in. Work these in your work order. Okay? And that's how you get through that. But, like I said, we started off the grid, working out of your house. That's a good choice to do, if you know what you want to do. Like I said, you should have money put away. Money in savings, checking is for your bills, everything like that. Then you have petty cash. You do whatever you want with that. You can dig it in a hole, put it in a bag, and drop it in there, or put it in a safe, and put it in the basement, or put it in a wall, or hide it wherever you want. You just got to remember where you put it. Otherwise, you kind of lose that money. Then that's petty cash. Petty cash is money that you can use, or use your debit card. But debit card has some limitations to it. So it's kind of hard to work with it. And then credit card, you're borrowing money. It's a loan. And they're getting very strict with that now. You'll say, well, gee, it's $1,000. I can pay that right now. But they don't make no money on that $1,000. And if you keep doing that, they might say, well, gee, that's too much credit. Let's drop it down lower. What? Okay. That's crazy. Why would they drop it lower? They can do with anything they want. That's their card. Not your card. You're just borrowing it to use it. You might have your name on it, but you're just using it to buy things, pay for things. Then why you need a car? Should you walk around with a whole bunch of cash in you? No. You can't replace the cash if it gets taken away from you. So that's why you got the plastic. You can use your debit card, but it has a limit to how much you can use. Yeah. So credit card, if you got an American Express Black, hey, you can use it as any amount. But like I said, they got rules too. You got to pay it back. It's money you got to pay back. So it's a certain percentage of how much to pay back. You could pay 6 times the amount that is left on that card. So say you owed almost $1,000, and the minimum was like $41, and you put 6 times that amount, $240. You send it to them, and then they say, "Whoa, this person is trying to pay off their card fast." Yeah, why do you want all that interest? So that $1,000 you borrowed could turn out to be $2,000, and what they want. So they get $2,000 plus that $1,000 back. So you got to think about stuff like that. So living off the grid, go for it. It helps. And if you live off the grid, you'll feel better. Just remember what you have to go through to live off the grid. It's not easy. You live up in a snowy climate, you're going to need a good truck or a 4x4, a real 4x4, Something heavy and something can withstand the weather. A Jeep, you would think, but they have a tendency of rolling over. So you have to maybe, an SUV, a good 4x4 SUV. Body on frame, or unibody. You think about things like that. A lot of these unibodies are low to the ground. They have 4x4 and they say they're mountainous, but it's still one construction. You get hit, the whole frame and everything, cave in. Then body on frame, there's a frame, and then the body goes on top. Okay, so if they hit the frame and the body doesn't get damaged, if the body gets damaged but the frame is intact, you can get the vehicle restored. Yeah, that's how people have to understand how that works. Nobody understands when they're buying a new vehicle, because a lot of these vehicles, hey, that's a nice sports car, but that's not body and frame. Frame and the body on top. Everything's all one piece. So when it crinkles and smashes up, it's total. They can't fix it. Some countries could take it, cut off the bad piece, weld a new piece onto it, but it's not really safe to do that. But hey, that's what they do. Okay. So now you know living off the grid and how it is. Work from home, or go work. Take side gig work. Either 1099 or a W-2. Or get up in the morning, jump in your vehicle, leave early to get to a job that's maybe 2 or 3 hours away. You do not leave at 7 o'clock. You got to get up at 3 and get yourself on that highway at 6. You have to get up at 6 and get out to the highway. You'll never make it. Not with a lot of traffic. If you live where there's a lot of traffic. Plus, if it's snowing outside, you might have to stay in town near your job. Makes more sense than going home. Then you have to dig out the vehicle. You have to come back. It's tough. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button, so more like this type of video comes out. Thumbs up. It helps. Thanks. Okay. That happens a lot, but hey, it's life. Okay, that's it.